Hey, who's on?
Not yet. One more minute.
No one wants to play cards? Hello. Hi, Noah. You see Papa? You see me? What you doing over there? Hey?
Okay, it's 8 o'clock.
It's 8 o'clock.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Motivational Monday, where each one teach one. Myself and Philly is here tonight, and we are streaming from Uber Soca Cruise.
Soca Cruise. You know,
Yes.
business is business, man. We always gonna be here.
Right? Okay. Our goal is to educate and empower anyone regardless of race, culture, ethnicity, or faith struggling with an assortment of life adversities. We believe education enlightens dark paths less traveled and liberates a sense of hopelessness. We believe the safety of transparency illuminates and activates the true meaning of caring, sharing, and reveal and emancipated wholeness. Our group sessions are designed to introduce a mix of information, live topics that surround individuals, our families, communities, and the nation. Your contribution in uplifting and supporting others in their struggle will be appreciated. And we just want to open with a little word of prayer. Father God, we want to thank you, Lord Jesus, for guiding us and protecting us, dear Lord. Protect our families far and near. Protect us, cover us from the top of our head to the sole of our feet, dear Lord Jesus. Bind us, guide us, and correct our footsteps to go in the direction that you would like us to go. In no other name but in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Yes.
Amen. Yes. Okay.
Okay, guys. So,
We will start off with the word of the day. The word of the day today is laissez-faire. Laissez-faire is actually a French derivative word, and it means a hands-off approach. So you can have a laissez-faire economy. You can be a laissez-faire kind of parent where you're not really authoritative, but you have kind of a hands-off approach where you allow your children to just kind of, give them some guidelines, but dictate the world as they see fit. So again, the word is laissez-faire.
wow. So, that's a great word. I mean,
Are you a laissez-faire kind of mom?
sometimes.
You're like, look,
Right? Okay, so we have a health topic for you guys today, and we are going to talk about bacterial vaginosis. Vaginosis.
Yes.
It's the most common vaginal infection that affects nearly 21 million women every year in the United States. It's nothing to worry about. There are two theories as to how the BV occurs. The first is the pH of the vaginal flora changes, causing chlorines of hydrogen peroxide producing laboratories. The good bacteria begin to die within the vaginal flora, and harmful bacteria begins to thrive. The second is that bacteria laboratories die off for other reasons. pH changes allowing anterior bacteria to colonize the vagina. Common symptoms of bacterial VG includes discharge, an unusual or foul odor, itch, and a change in vaginal pH. Because laboratories colonized begin to decrease, there is less lactic acid and hydrogen peroxide being produced, which means bacterial vaginitis can lead to an increase in catching sexual transmitted disease. Natural remedies such as probiotics, and cranberries aim to treat the symptoms of BV, UTI, and yeast infection while minimizing occurrence. All right? And guys, if you have any different changes, you need to see a doctor. I mean, we just talking here from Google, and just want women to just know the body, your pH type, and how these types of things occur, right?
Right, and it was just the reason why I mentioned it is because, you know, too many times women sometimes get embarrassed about talking about their body parts, their lady parts, but it's your body. You need to protect it at all costs. Sometimes a change in underwear fabric can throw off your pH. It could be something you ate. It could be having a different sexual partner. It could be your partner having a different sexual partner. It could be anything, but it's not an STD or anything like that. All it is your body's bacteria is flora is off, and you need to just be able to get it back. So again, cranberry juice, a lot of probiotics like yogurt, things that have a lot of live bacteria. Those are the things, and they call that good gut health. All of that is part of it. So just the health tip of today,
but you know, again, as you say, something that people doesn't want to speak about, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. You know, you got to know your body and know when it's off. When your body's off, or if something is up,
it's different.
See your GYN, see your doctor.
Exactly. And you know, sometimes women, they flock to go and buy things like douche
and different things. I don't think that is healthy to do
they
either.
actually say, you know, the best way to even clean yourself is literally just water. You know, they say sometimes soap cause it to be off too. Of course, you know, especially when you from the Caribbean, Africa, you can be like, what? Don't use soap. But really, your body does its natural cleansing. So just also be careful about the soaps that you use. It can't be too much perfume because that's not my as well.
And guys, just excuse the background noise if you guys hearing anything. We are in a library trying to thought it was a quiet spot, but you know, there's a lot of chatter, but you know, it is what it is.
And it's Harlem night.
It's Harlem night here on the cruise ship. So we're gonna go to dinner for 9 o'clock. So we want to talk today about doubting oneself. And we doubt our capabilities and talents all the time. And I think that this is so important that we need to talk about, because sometimes we may want to go or do something and we are always in doubt. So I just want to say, stop watering things that were never meant to grow in your life. Water what works, what's good, what's right. Stop playing around with those dead bones and stuff. You can't fix it over. Leave it alone. You are coming into a season of greatness. If your water what's alive and divine, you will see the harvest like you have never seen before. Stop wasting water on dead issues, dead relationship, dead people, right? A dead past. No matter how much water concentrate, you can't grow a garden. When people walk away from you, let them go. Your destiny is never tied to anyone who leaves you. And it doesn't mean that they are bad people. It just means that there is part in your story that is over.
The reason for a season.
All right? So, you know, sometimes I think that we cripple ourselves in having things or, you know, people around. That is not good for us. So, you know, we have to come to the realization that, hey, it is done, it's over with, and that's it. We want to say thank you guys for locking in this afternoon. Good afternoon, Tisha, and everybody else looking. Share the page. And you know, happy Monday also. Has there been a time in your life, Philia? And we want to hear from you guys too. What doubts you had in your past, or things that you think you could have done better?
I think that's a great question for us, because I think what happens is that as women, I think specifically, we hold on to this idea of what the perfect life is supposed to look like. Having the man, the house, the white picket fence, the children, the great job, the nice car, right? That comes with a slew of issues, right? Because with that comes with a lot of responsibilities. And because of that, sometimes we hold on to things that are not good for us. Right? So you're in a relationship, you don't want to look like you're dating and sleeping around, you hold on to that relationship, even if it's not healthy for you. Or you allow people to stifle your own growth because you want to maintain a relationship or maintain having someone in your life. You don't want to be alone, or you allow your life, your work life, take over your personal, so you don't have a good balance, or you do everything for your children and don't find a balance for yourself. I mean,
Right.
it could be anything actually, but doubting the capabilities is the idea that you're not looking into yourself and looking at your own power.
Right.
Instead, you're giving it to
someone else.
to
Yes.
to I guess look for happiness in whatever that other person is doing, as opposed to looking at it within yourself. So I think that's, to me, what this question is actually really, really trying to focus on. What is your take?
Right. I think too that, sometimes we want to do something in life, and this doubt, this feeling of doubt comes in. Should I? Shouldn't I?
Correct.
It's like buying a car. You don't want any car note.
Correct.
But you want this expensive car, but you don't want to buy something in reach. And you keep doubting yourself, and then you go on now and put yourself into an expense that you cannot afford, and then the car get repossessed. So, yes, so in that case, you should have followed your mind and not have a car note, right? And afford something where your reach can be, instead of stretching it out further. Yes, you may want a BMW, but you cannot afford a BMW.
Correct.
You understand what I'm saying? So I think in decision making, I think too in jobs sometimes we tend to be unhappy.
Right.
But some people just work for the paycheck.
That's correct.
But if you don't do something that you love,
you enjoy,
you will always be unhappy. So I would say follow your dream. If you have a dream, or you have an idea that you want to, take a leap of faith, go out there and do it, and don't question or doubt yourself. And I want to tell you something too, is that sometimes when you tell people your dream, they tend to be, I have a name for them,
Almost like negative Nancy's. Or they put their negative 2 cents in it, and sometimes it kills your dreams, or it gives you doubt.
It gives you doubt, and it have you questioning yourself. Now, I know, let's take for instance, having a surgery. So you might want to go and enhance and have your boobs done, or your butt done. Good night, Carlene. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Charlene, and you will have your family members saying, no, what if you die? What this? You're going to spend that type of money
when you could be saving it,
when you could be saving it and doing something else. But what we're saying is that sometimes you just keep things to yourself, take a leap of faith, and do what you want to do for you.
That makes you happy. That's correct. Yes.
Right?
It's funny you say that, because just even in growing up, I've always been self-conscious about having little boobs and big butt, the typical African body. And to this day, I swear, my cousins, every time, Philia, don't put anything there. Leave your natural self. These people die. You know how many people? And it's like they start giving you all the number of people who died. I know a friend, she got, and I'm like, oh my God, this is not what I'm. Just when I'm getting close to getting it done, no. They're like giving you all these negative things. So even in something like that, now I'm not saying that they're not necessarily very wrong, but
do your research.
Do your research, of course.
Yeah.
Check out your doctors. Make sure they're FDA approved, board certified approved. You can take a leap of faith, but that's just like in one aspect of it. Now it could be just looking for a good job, trying to change careers, making a decision of purchasing a home. And I'm not saying don't tell your business to people. I mean, you should always have a trusted person or friend
to give you a second
opinion. But you should not talk everything everywhere. Wait till things are set up. And then maybe when they've occurred, you could be like, oh yeah, I did purchase a house,
and then
I want to
have
invite
a house
you guys.
warming.
That's it. You don't need to, because I think even if people are not, we have this thing with the opium and the voodoo, and this, it's not about that. Sometimes it's just somebody thinking negative and being jealous of you, or being envious and not wanting you to progress. Sometimes that is enough energy, right?
To have doubt, to give you that doubt.
Right?
So I would say follow your inner
Your inner, it never
your
steers
intuition.
You wrong. Yeah, it never steers you wrong.
never
100%.
Yeah.
So this idea of the whole capabilities thing is that one thing, and whether you're religious or not, God does not operate in fear.
Right.
So if you are fearful, you need to ask God for discernment.
Yes.
Ask Him, say, God, why am I so afraid? Because sometimes taking that step or leap of faith is scary because it's uncharted territory. You're not sure what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to sink. You don't know if you're going to float. So that's what's scary. But the actual act itself is courageous. God wants us to be courageous because He gives us that we are made in His image.
Yes.
He gives us that power to be able to succeed in anything we literally put our mind to. So the minute you start doubting yourself, that's why things start to happen,
right?
And even biblically, like I remember the story with Peter and Jesus when He tells him to walk on the water, and he started to walk, and then he started getting nervous. Boom, what happens? It's even God just even telling us that. If you want to do it, just go ahead and do it. I don't give you a spirit of fear. So just take that leap of faith and go ahead. And a perfect example would be, as I said, I used to be a teacher in a very secure position as a teacher. I was a dean for 16 years. And during COVID, right in the heart of COVID, I left. I didn't have a backup plan. Everybody was like, how are you leaving? You don't have another job. I was like, I just feel like this is not the one for me. And they were like, but you've been doing this for almost 2 decades. And I said, yeah, but I just don't, this is not it. And they said, so what next? I said, I don't know what next, but I know it's not this. And that was honestly a leap of faith. And it took me almost 3 years to finally get a position that I think is like my dream position. But I wasn't also out there hustling and looking for a job. I kind of just felt like the right one would fall in my lap.
And you was doing your little things
and I did my things on the side and it fell in my lap. Literally, not even applying. I got a perfect position working at a university as a director. And this is all because of my personality. It's because I know someone who knows someone. Someone remembered me from my work ethics, and this is how God works. So don't doubt yourself. You just, if you feel something, go on that.
And we want to hear from you two guys out there. Have you been in a situation where you doubt yourself, or you keep doubting things and be a procrastinator? You want to do something, but you're just procrastinating and you're never doing it. Okay, like I want to go up a hill. Yes, you're scared of heights, but you're not going up the hill. So if you are one of those, we want to hear from you. Right? The crippling doubt that someone feels at their core that they will never be good enough, or they will never be able to succeed in life, and are destined to fail, is not a great feeling. As someone who has dealt with this feeling in the past, I can assure you that this feeling will leave you like an empty shell. You can fall in a pit of depression and self-pity. Extreme self-doubt is onset leads to procrastination and hesitancy, which leads to an extreme amount of tension and stress. The biggest reason is an unhappy childhood. Parents mirror all their insecurity on their kids. They fear that they will end up like them. They always want good for us, but sometimes they screw up. At least they are harmed too. Now you cannot go back to the past to change your childhood, but you can adopt some useful habits which can help you regain your lost confidence. It takes time to overcome your self-doubt, but it can be achieved with constant practice and positive attitude. And that's why I say sometimes, you want to do something, but you pity yourself, and that could really take a toll on you. It could really have you stressed out. You might want to help a family, but then it's like your situation you had the other day with the homeless guy. He wanted one item, right? And he picked up a dozen items.
That's
right?
Correct.
And you did that from the kindness of your heart. Now somebody else might have said, "Oh my God, for the couldn't stop at 1, 2, 3, right? But in your heart, your intuition say, "Hey, this is somebody who don't have, and
God
to bless someone else."
That's correct.
So. Hi guys. Yes.
Hey, thank
No,
you for
we're
having
not
me.
back yet. We will be docking in the morning, God's willing. But we're here just chilling with you guys, being consistent with our motivational money. So, Philia, I mean, as you say, sometimes in jobs too, we have this kind of doubting feeling. Um, what are some steps you think we could take in order for people to not have this doubt feeling?
Okay. Well, definitely taking the leap of faith takes a lot of guts. We always, as human beings, always want to know what the next move is.
Yes,
We want to have our things lined up.
yes,
I don't want to have a kid. It's expensive. I don't have money. I don't have the. But you know what? When you get the kid, you figure it out. You feed them. They're not starving. Find a way to get pampers. You find a way to get a stroller. You make it happen. That's just life, right? And I'm not saying to be frivolous. I'm not saying to be reckless. I am saying though, just like you did something, it's the same process. You will figure it out. You have to trust that you will figure it out. Trust the process, key, right? You got to trust that process because you have to believe that everything that you've done in your life has built you to that point where if something like that were to occur, you will figure it out. And you have resources. There's information. There's YouTube University. There's nothing that you should not be aware about. If you are, you can always look up the information. You have family, you have friends, you have people who believe in you. So at the end of the day, if you ever doubt yourself, you have somebody who's going to trust that they're going to have your back if you fall. And I'm not saying that bad things don't happen to good people. But I am also saying that you have to believe that everything that you've done has been a preparation for your next move.
exactly.
It's not about you cannot stay stagnant. In life, if you stay stagnant, how are you growing, how are you progressing? What
Right.
makes you grow is the fact that you're taking that leap of faith.
Exactly.
And that's the key. So even when you're getting a new job, of course, you're used to your old job, you're used to your old manager, your friends, your work
Right.
ethics, blah, blah, blah. But your work ethics is going to take you to the next job.
And it will take you to the next
It
level.
will take you to the next level.
Yes.
So you will have a new manager where you have to learn new things about that person. You
Yes.
have new friends, but it doesn't mean that's a bad thing.
No.
It just means it's a new challenge.
Yes.
And a challenge that you should work towards because it's the only way you're going to grow and progress. You can't progress in the same position.
No.
It can't happen. As babies, right? You start off with breastfeeding, and then you're sitting, then you're crawling, then you're walking. As adults, we have to do the same thing.
Yes.
Because if you stay in the same place, you will not grow. Period.
Yes.
So that's what you have to do.
Nene asking you a question.
Hey, Nans, what's up? Okay, you're not getting your last little wine. No, of course. Yes, we're gonna get the last little wine, but business first. But
Yeah.
and plus, it doesn't start until 10,
10,
so we got
yeah.
some time.
Yeah.
Nana, you're so silly. I can't with you. But thank you for reminding us of the fun.
So I think too, an affirmation helps. You create a positive outlook.
Right.
They help you by increasing your self-worth and elevate your self-esteem, your self-confidence. Affirmation helps maintaining a self-identity and self-integrity of an individual. It helps the person in battling many mental and physical issues. Affirmations are the best practice regularly. Written them down in a journal, saying them in front of the mirror further boosts the efforts, right? Books have answers also you can seek. It may be about relationship, finances, self-improvement. You understand?
Oh, those are wonderful things. What I like about this is that there are certain things, people need certain things to inspire them. Some people like to write on their mirrors. That's actually a nice trick, right? And those erasable markers. You put something in your mirror that you want to wake up every morning and see. I have something, I used to have a picture on my wall of a bull. I took it down and I said, there's one that says, every morning that I wake up, I believe something wonderful is going to happen. That's my affirmation. So every morning I wake up, I know that it's going to be better than the day before. That's my word of affirmation. You can do what they call it, vision boards.
Yes.
Where you put things, you cut them out of magazines, you cut out words, poems, words that make you feel good about yourself. All of these are affirmation. Affirmation is just something that affirms and gives you the confidence that you're looking for to continue to keep going. It could be a journal, it could be listening to a sermon in the morning, it could be somebody who inspires you, it could be a podcast, it could be so many different things. We have so many things that we use for affirmations. It could be your daily prayer. That's your affirmation. But be consistent in whatever it is. And when you find something that works, keep doing that. Because that's the thing that you're going to be influenced the most by.
Yeah. And I think too also, saying I'm good enough.
Oh, that's important.
Start saying simple
little things like that.
Yes,
Absolutely.
simple affirmations, because I think people tend to be they want to be all kind of things.
Yeah.
And I think that you are just good enough for yourself within. So I'm good enough,
Right.
I'm strong enough,
I'm smart enough, I'm beautiful
smart
enough, I'm
enough,
kind enough.
I'm beautiful,
Yeah.
I'm kind. Don't worry about what
Others
the
say
neighbor
about
to the
you.
right, the left, the back,
Yeah.
and in front say about
Right,
you.
right. I
You
agree.
know that you are a good person, so that feeling of doubt that comes into your life, you always say, I'm good enough.
Right.
I'm good enough for myself. With these self-affirmations, you get the strength, and you don't need somebody to say, hey, Philia, you're good enough.
person. Correct.
You can do that for yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's how you build self-confidence too. Because there's a lot of people who lack self-confidence. That's where the doubt come in. You understand? So if you don't have that self-confidence in yourself, right? I mean, it could have been maybe an abusive life that you grew up. You might be from a broken home. You might have been a single parent, so you have all these doubts. Am I a good mother? Do I do the right things? And these doubts come into your life. So what we're trying to say is rethink, renew your mind. Ask God to give you the strength, give you the courage, because some of us don't have the courage.
Correct.
Some of us don't have the strength. So we have to keep renewing our mind, saying, hey, I'm good enough, I'm strong enough, and I think with constant affirmation helps.
That would help tremendously in taking the next step. And one thing that we tend to do, which would be next on the topic, is don't compare yourself to someone else's journey.
Yes.
What happens is that, and it's so hard when you have social media.
Yes.
You're looking at Instagram, you're looking at
Yes.
Facebook, you're looking at TikTok, you're looking at all these things.
But can I say something, Philia? Social media for me is fake, in the sense that these people the life is not perfect. The life is not good.
And they don't put the bad things out.
out
Very
there.
few do.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
always put the wonderful, the pictures in the background, the beautiful scenery and this and that. And we know life is not like that 24/7. So what we're saying is that it's nice to look at these things, but just know that when you're swiping, you're really swiping, and you're looking at your own life and reflecting on your own life and looking at your situation and saying, how can I improve my situation? Don't say, I want my situation to be like Phyllis, or I want my situation to be like Philia, or my next door neighbor, or because they have a fence, I gotta go and be in debt to get a fence. Because I know it's very difficult, because it's like keeping up with the Joneses. You don't do it intentionally, but it is like you start to judge yourself against what another person is doing.
Right.
But you don't also know their struggle.
Exactly.
And everybody has their own time. So
Yes.
you don't know what that person has been through for them to get where they are. So just believe and trust, again, the process that your time will come as well.
Yeah.
Just keep at it.
And what I would say too is that everybody's journey is different.
Very different.
Everybody have a different journey, and stop comparing yourself to be perfect. Stop be comparing yourself to be someone else. Be you.
Just be who you are. That's
Just
it.
be who you are. People have to accept you for who you are. You know, stop be doubting yourself. You know, you cannot afford the Louis Vuitton. You cannot afford it. You understand? That's okay. You could afford a coach. You could afford Michael Kors. You understand? You may not be in the position because think about it. Half of these people who have these stuff, really, they share in toilet and bathroom. Does that make sense to you? They rent in a room,
But they have,
you know, but they have
all
these stuff,
the
right?
expensive
But
purses
you have
and
all these expensive things, which is not real because 10 to 1, they cannot afford a $2,000, $3,000, $10,000 bag. Okay? And I'm not saying, I'm not bashing anybody. No, I'm not. I'm just saying, try to be who you want to be. Stop trying to compare and be like other people because again, when this doubt come into your mind and you want to be better than Philia or better than Phyllis, everybody's struggles is different. Philia might have the whole platter to you. My mother had a lot of us. I know to eat little every day. So,
she looks like that.
so we're just trying to say, you know, don't try to compare yourself to others. Be who you are. Be what God created you to be. Right?
Absolutely. I think that's a
So
great point.
everybody's journey is different. So stop be comparing yourself to others. Stop be looking at people's life because people paint a good picture
All the time.
but when that picture you get close to it, just like the grass is greener on the other side.
still gotta
Time when
mow
you
the
look,
lawn.
it's brown on the other side.
And
So
and
you know.
still got to mow the lawn. You can't be watering things that are dead.
Yes, exactly.
Which is what we talked about.
Yeah. So you are the biggest ally. If you believe in yourself, then everything is possible. You can achieve all your goals when you have confidence in yourself. So start practicing these tips and, you know, be confident now and to know that you're just enough. You don't need to be anybody else. You don't need a lot of stuff. You understand?
To be okay, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, like we talked about the idea of controlling your destiny. At the end of the day, you are the navigator of your destiny,
compass,
of your compass. However, you know there's always a higher power that dictates everything. But you still have to have a focus. You still have to have an end goal in mind.
Right.
And you still have to have the confidence to allow you to continue to go. So if it's something you want to do, put your best foot forward. Just literally put one step in front of the other, and it will lead you. You know, do research. Don't, you know, always wake up learning something more or newer than you did the day before. Be smarter the day after you've been, or be smarter more than the day you were before. Because again, learning is an everyday process. If you think that you know everything, obviously you haven't learned.
Exactly.
Because we learn things new every
And stop
single
being
day.
a know-it-all because, you know, every day we learn. Good night, guys. Good night. Good night, one.
So it's really important. So I think that, you know, this idea of controlling your destiny, you know, it's something that's what causes all the fear, is because we want to know what the next step is. But sometimes you don't know what the next step is.
Yeah.
But you can prepare yourself so that you can get into a better position so that you can succeed. That's the important step we mentioned.
And what I would add to that is that tomorrow is no promise to anyone. So that's why we say accept reality. You know, destiny, fate, karma, whatever you call it, is the idea that life is determined by powers beyond our control. Is an old time. It appears in the Greek mythology, right? Believe that you control your own destiny means you have to recognize your internal locus of control. It means you take responsibility for your thoughts and actions and the outcome. By thinking the way you can become unstoppable, you can learn how to control your own destiny, right?
So it's also like understanding your own moral compass, meaning that the things in you that lead you to be who you are, I mean, those are the things that's always going to lead you. Like when you think of yourself as a child, you know, as a kid, we want to do everything. We want to be a cook. We want to be a scientist. Like your parents ask you what you want to be, you start saying, I want to be a scientist, and I want to be a comedian, and I want to be a nurse, and I want to be a doctor. And it's like, no, you got to pick one thing, right?
Right.
But that's when you're little, a kid doesn't understand that
No.
they got to pick one thing.
Yes.
Because in their minds, they can do everything, right? So be that kid sometimes. Because
Right.
it's not...
Everything is not right in
It's
stone.
not right in stone. And sometimes, you can be a lawyer today and a doctor tomorrow, and you're like, how did you do
Yeah.
those two? But there are lawyers who have become doctors.
Yes.
There are doctors who have become lawyers. It doesn't mean that you can't do anything. It just means it takes a matter of time, and it shifts your focus. So you shift your focus, you can actually get to do it. And I'm just giving that disparity, but it could be anything. I was a teacher for 16 years. Now I'm not even in the education department, period. At all.
Right.
And I'm very happy. I don't feel like I lost anything. I don't feel like my life, oh my God, I wasted. No, it's not a waste. Everything is an experience.
Yeah.
It's a gain for me because now I'm in a position that I know more than my counterparts who have been doing it longer than me because I do have that education piece in my life that I can be able to talk about. So the same with you. So if you've been doing one thing for a long time and you want to change, great, do the change because you will still be infinitely better than the next person because you have that experience that person might be lacking.
And I also go by, I don't have no regrets in my life. My life is written just the way the Lord wanted it to be.
Exactly.
I don't look back. I look forward. And I don't think negative. Everything happened in my life was a test. That's why we could come today and give you testimonies.
Yes.
That's how I look at life,
Yes.
right?
I love that.
So-
and also you mentioned, don't look back, but only look back to see how far you've come. That's it.
Yeah.
But not
Yeah.
to say, I'm regretting. No. You look back because it's like, gosh, I can't believe I could have died from this, or I
Yes.
could have lost my mind over this, or I
Yes.
could have been crippled from this. But guess what? I'm here. And if you're here, that means you've achieved. And if you achieved, that means you can keep going.
Yes.
So don't be afraid.
Yes.
You've already gone through it.
Yes.
So you know exactly what it feels like. And think of it like playing a video game, right? When you were younger, when you play video games, right? If the man dies, you know that you can get another man.
Yes.
Right? But when you get to that same place that you died, you usually don't die there again.
Right.
Because you know exactly what happened to make you die. So what you do, you figure it out. And then you go further in the game. That's what life is. Once you've been there, you've already been there. So it's not that serious at that point.
No.
Right.
Accept reality doesn't mean that you just sit back and forget about how to control your destiny. It means that you take ownership of what you can change and forget about the things that you can't. You can't control what others do or think. You can't control the market. The only thing you can change in your own mindset to do is you must question the story you tell yourself and transform it into one that empowers you. Limiting beliefs, the negative things we tell others about the way we are and the way the world is, only hold you back from controlling your own destiny. So what we want to say, let go of the past.
Over the past. You gotta let go. Now the past is not horrible to think about the past, but use the past as a
learning
demarcation to say,
of
hey,
what you don't
I
want
don't
to do.
want to do that again.
Yes.
It's like triggers, right?
Right.
That's what we call triggers. Triggers are just things that happen that you don't want yourself to go
No,
through anymore.
and you don't want your children to go through.
That's all. That's all a trigger is. So it's like, use the past as that. Use the past as a marker, saying, okay, we know how that works, and we know that does not work, and move on from it. Navigate again.
Don't stay in the past.
Don't stay in it.
No.
Because you sit in it, you'll be miserable.
Yes.
You will feel
Depression.
like you have not gained or gone anywhere. It's no need to waddle in your own things.
Yes.
You have to give yourself I always say, give yourself an expiration date for anything that you're going through. Like if you sad, it's okay to be sad.
Right.
And then be like, all right,
Get out of that. Right.
okay, it's been 10 days.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Right.
11th day, I'm waking up, I'm going for a run, I'm going to work out, I'm going to go get myself something nice, something. I'm
Right.
going to give my friends a call, I'm going to get out of this darkness, and go into the sun
Yes.
and go forward. Give yourself an expiration date.
And you know, this brings me back to when we had the cancer victims last month.
Okay, yes.
And you know, every one of them said they were in a place of darkness, but they had to come to the realization that they needed light and to get out and to keep going forward.
Light gave them life.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
right?
Good point.
Your past is not your future.
Oh, absolutely.
Again, your past is not your future. Unless you live there to control your own destiny, you must forgive those who have hurt you and let go of your past. Realize that nothing in life has any meaning except the meaning you give it.
That's
Right?
right. So you give life to the things that you give life to. So if, again, you can make a concerted effort to not make anything a big deal. So for instance, let's just say with your partner you get into arguments about
Right.
anything particular. You can basically say, you know what, I'm not going to give this life. I'm literally going to move on from this and move on from it. People think that they're incapable of doing certain things. Oh, I can't. I find it so difficult. No, you don't want to make a change, because when you actually want to impact that change, your mind literally can say, you know what, I'm not going to entertain that. And simply just don't entertain it. And that's just one aspect of just control. That's just exhibiting a little bit of self-control. Imagine what you can do with your life, what you can do about your finances, what you can do about, you know, positive reinforcement. Like they always say, you know, there's life and death is in the power of the tongue. So when you speak life, you're going to give life. When you speak death, you're going to give death.
Exactly. So will you give your past a meaning full of hurt and pain, or will you realize that it was made you who you are today? Your past can be a source of inner strength and deep beliefs in yourself if you choose to give positive meaning. And that's why we say that, you know, I always bring this to failure. A rearview mirror is so small because the Lord wanted to just take snapshots. If He wanted you to see all what in the back, He'd make it as big as the windshield, right? So you just have to take snapshots of your life, and you know, just snapshots where you don't want to be. You understand? Where you don't want to be yesterday. You wanna climb that ladder and you wanna improve, and that goes within your whole life, your kids, your work, everything you do. Just take snapshots and just say to yourself, you know what? Next year I wanna go and swim, and then go do it. Go join the Y. Go do stuff.
When we went to North Carolina, right? Did we not, like, Debbie? I don't mean to put your business out there, but she was like, she never really tried to swim. I was like, I'm gonna show you. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah. I show you how to swim in a couple of minutes. And lo and behold, she learned.
And she was
within
floating.
30 minutes. She was swimming. So it's about, she let go to fear.
Fear.
I told her to trust me. I'm not gonna let anything happen to you, and she did that. And that was something small or big, depending on how the person's looking at it. Some people have such a fear like, oh, I'm gonna drown, and then other people are like, you know what? I do trust you. Thank you. And so that's it. So the same way she could trust me, you could trust God, right?
Yeah.
You just be like, look, I'm not gonna let you sink. You will succeed.
Get the fear and doubt out of your mind, because that, I tell you, it could either make you or break you.
It can make or break you.
You know?
Very important.
Explore your relationships. Nothing affects the quality of life and your ability to control your destiny more deeper than your relationships. They are a window in your values and belief, including your belief about yourself. They are the source of life's greatest pleasure and life's greatest pains. And they can either propel you towards your goals and keep you stagnant. Sometimes we must cut ties of unhealthy relationship that no longer serves you. You know best.
I do know best.
This is one of the hardest part of learning how to control your destiny, right? But you can fly when you are way down.
And do you remember when I talked about having my wings clipped, right?
Yes.
I said that growing up, I always felt like I had to carry my family in everything I did, and it stifled me, because I felt maybe had I just done it, then I would have been in a higher, more authoritative position, more financially secure, where I can say, okay guys, I'm here, let's go. as opposed to trying to drag them along with me, right? So it's the same thing. Sometimes you're gonna have to, and I'm not saying that we all don't have responsibilities, but guess what? When you die, they move on.
Yes.
They do, and you have to. I mean, I'm on this ship, and I'm over here Ubering,
Right.
lifting, buying internet when I should be enjoying myself because people cannot function without me. But I'm an enabler.
Right.
And I've created monsters because I do everything for everyone.
Right.
And now when I'm not around, people cannot function. And then I'm blaming them that they cannot function and they're like 19, 20, 20. Like, and it's crazy. And Phyllis had the conversation, she said, you gotta cut that umbilical cord. You are causing your own issues in your life.
Yes.
And that's because all my life I've taken care of everything around me. And I'm like, I can't even go on a vacation without just relaxing. Because it's constantly
On the phone.
I had to keep walking away because I didn't want to be on the phone while I'm supposed to be whining
Yes.
and enjoying myself.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, let me just go to the corner. And it just makes me realize that although it's gotten better, there's a lot of work I still need to do to make sure that those umbilical cords are cut and people are more dependent, those
Yes.
who are around me. So when we say examine your relationships, we're talking about your relationship with your children, with your spouse,
With your
your
co-workers.
partners, with your co-workers, with your boss, with your friends, with your allies, everything. You have to examine everything because guess what? You are your circle.
Yes.
Period. So you got a bunch of deadbeats around you.
Yeah, you
You're
got it.
deadbeat. I don't care what anybody
And I mean,
says.
you know,
right?
now is a good time to have
Yeah.
reflection.
Yes, because the year is coming to end.
Yes.
And you want to start afresh
Yes.
and anew.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Great topic for it.
Yeah. Reveal your driving force. Your relationship also provide clues about your driving force. The ultimate reason you do the things you do. We are all driven by 6 human needs: certainty, significance, variety, love, connection, growth, and contribution. We need all of these things at a certain level, but each have one top need that drives us more than the other. By looking at your life in this context, you will be able to more successfully control your destiny because you will realize and fulfill your needs in a positive way.
I like that. I like those needs.
All right.
And it's like basically showing like the stepping stones.
Yes.
No man is an island. Sometimes you're like, oh, I don't need this, I don't need that. We all need something.
Yes.
So let's stop fooling ourselves.
And then you know too, so like some people say, I don't need anybody. We all
we all
need people,
somebody.
and
Yeah,
we all
it's
need
terrible to
friends.
think that. We all need somebody.
And then you
Period.
know, like when people ask me, I say I have a lot of friends, but I have friends on different levels.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you might be A,
Right.
B, C,
And it doesn't mean
D.
that
it
there's
doesn't
love
mean
less.
that
It
love.
just means
yes.
that you are in your life for there are certain friends in your life for a purpose, a reason for a season. Period. So it's the same thing. So having friends on different levels doesn't necessarily mean one person's less important. It just means that, oh well, guess what? When I want to talk about my real private stuff,
Right.
I got this friend that I want to talk to.
Right.
If I want to jokey and
Yes.
have very light things, I got friends on this level. If I want somebody who I want to party with, I got friends on that level.
Right.
And that's okay. Don't feel offended if
Right.
someone is upfront about that life.
Yes.
It just means that you serve where you serve.
Yes.
And if you want to change it, then change it.
And then
Be better.
I also look at it as boundaries too,
Yeah.
because again, I may not see my friend for 10 years, and when we meet up, we
It's
be
as if
talking
you
like
were
if
there
we
for-
never
Correct.
was away from one another. So again,
And
you
that's
know,
okay too,
and
right.
friendships like those, we can't just pick up yesterday.
Correct.
These are friendships that you build. Loyalty comes with
And that's
it.
the reason why
Gratitude.
those kind of friendships last for so long.
Long.
Like I have friends where if I haven't seen them, in fact, on this boat, I saw somebody I have not physically seen since I was 18 years old.
Wow.
As soon as we saw each other, we just hugged. It was crazy. It was like, oh my God, the last time I saw you was my graduation when I was 18 years old. And we're 32 years later, we're seeing each other on Ubisoft Cruise. I mean, it's amazing, but we were talking and you would never know that 32 years has gone by because we're just like catching up and laughing about old times and this
Yeah.
and that. So that's it. You know, you build what you build, and you pray for strength, you pray for a good foundation, and always examine your relationships. Very, very important.
And for instance, like Colleen and myself, Colleen and I went to school together. She's Carrie's godmother. He'll be 34 years next month. And Colleen and I never had a disagreement. Never had a disagreement.
Yep.
We never crossed boundaries. We respect one another, you know. And whether or not it's harsh criticism, we never take anything personal. And I think this new era, these Gen Zs and millennials, they take everything personal and they feel like they are entitled. You know, they don't feel like it's like how we grew up where you had to work for what you want. They think that they're entitled and just like they don't cherish friendship. They don't cherish a lot of stuff.
They change
you
friends
know?
like underwear.
Yeah, and then, you know, that's why they get into situations with friends.
Right.
So, you know, again, boundaries, all right? Face your fears. Fear is a natural survival instinct. But like our relationship, it doesn't always serve us. If you are living in fear, you can never truly learn how to control your destiny. Someone out there needs to hear that again. All right? You can never truly learn how to control your destiny. To become your best self and realize your ultimate potential for growth, you must learn to use fear instead of letting fear use you. Be vulnerable with your partner. Take steps to start that business you dream of. Sign up for public speaking classes. Whatever you are afraid of, do it today.
Yeah.
Because as I say again, tomorrow is no promise to you or me. And then when something happened, then you woulda, coulda, shoulda. All right? And I just say fear is a snare. The Bible tell you that too, right? Design your life. You have created new positive beliefs. Let go of relationship and stories that doesn't serve you and discover how to fulfill your needs. You are feeling confident and empowered. Now is the time to design your life. You can do and be anything you want to. So think big. Think big.
Yes.
Think big.
Yes.
What is your true purpose in life? What energizes you?
I like those questions, you know, because I think when you think small, you do small.
Yes.
So thinking big, and sometimes people stifle us when they say, "What do you mean? You're
Yes.
gonna get." Like, and I'm gonna give you a perfect example of things, and that's why when they talk about manifesting your own destiny, like I'm constantly looking at $1 million houses all the time in Jamaica State, in constantly, and they're like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "I'm looking for an 8-bedroom house." What 8-bedroom house? Where? How that's supposed to happen? And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get it." And my mom, one thing she made a comment, like maybe 3 weeks ago. She said, "You know, everything you said you've done, that you were going to do, you've done." She said, "So even though this seems crazy, that you're here perusing, looking crazy in Jamaica States, going up in all these different blocks and stuff like that," she said, "I don't doubt you. I know you will get it." And just for her to say that, it was such a powerful statement because she's right. And I've never really sat to focus and say, "Oh, I'm gonna make this happen." It's just kind of like, I believe it. So in my mind, there's nothing that makes me think it won't happen. Now, do I have a job that's gonna make me get that $1 million house? No, but I still feel like something is going to happen and I'm going to achieve this. So you dream big. You dream big, you will start to do big, because again, our thoughts become our words become our actions, and our actions become our destiny or habits.
Yes.
That's it. That's why it's important to say positive.
Yes. Colleen is saying, "Facts, I love you, Phyllis. You are my dearest friend for life. I've tried other friendship. It simply didn't work because I kept on comparing what I have with you, and it just didn't work out with them. I am good with you and Vasia, you know." And
That's beautiful. Thank you, Colleen. That's so
and that's
beautiful
why
to say.
too, Philia, I have a lot of long-standing relationships. My next friend June and I too. June and I may not talk for weeks,
But when you
but
do,
when we do,
It's as
she
if-
pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Hey June, I'm checking in. How you doing?
Yeah.
You know, I'm busy. Blah blah blah. Because you know we all live a busy life, but that don't mean that you have to talk to the person every day.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, we all go through different phases. Like I say, I have grown. I was a teenager. I'm growing up to adulthood. Now I'm more of an adult in the sense of going through menopause and different things. So, you know, we're growing. I have friends that Carlina and I are growing together. You know, it's just like a child, like that, like you're birthed in, you know?
I agree.
So, you know, people tend to sometimes, like our little group that we have, people want that sisterhood because we don't compare each other. I don't want to be like you. You don't want to be like me.
And
I
we
don't
all
want to be like
encourage,
this.
and then we
all
encourage
encourage
each other.
one another.
Most importantly, and we're really, really, really there, which I think is so important because, you know, sometimes finding friends as adults is hard.
Very hard.
You know,
because
like, at least good friends.
Yeah.
You find people you talk to all the time, and it's like, okay, that's nice, but like somebody you know that you can call and they're gonna be there for you, it's not easy, you know. So I think that finding a sisterhood in as adults, I think is a wonderful thing. So you always want to cherish that.
And that's why we travel and we try to do things together and make at least 2-3 trips per
At
year
least if we
together to
can.
bond, you know,
that's
if we can.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
know, and we come together when we have, you know, all of our giveaway.
we have
and
the Friendsgiving.
yeah, we have Friendsgiving by Philia this year, God's willing. And then, you know, my giveaway to the woman shelter coming up next month. So
next
we're all
month.
going
We're
to
all
do
gonna-
that Christmas
yes.
Day. I mean, so, you know, we try to do and encourage, you know, everything. So last but not least, reset your focus.
Right.
Whatever you constantly think about and focus upon, you move towards. Once you design your life, you must put all your energy towards achieving the life. Stop relying on others to make you feel a certain way or waiting around for them to be on the same page. Use empowering routines like committing visualization, intonation, and exercise to focus your intention on how to control your destiny. Create goals using a system like rapid planning method and hold yourself accountable. Darlene, you need a calendar. You have all the tools you need. The rest is up to you.
Love it. That
All
is
right?
well said. And there's not anything better than the time is now. We have to realize that it is now November. We always have these New Year's resolutions. My whole thing is I try to pick one thing because we want to do so many things, right? And then when you don't do them, you start feeling like you didn't accomplish your goal for the year. So pick something you want to work on, a fear you want to let go, something you want to, a territory you want to charter that you've never done before because of fear. That's a great resolution to start because that, to me, is connected to all your other things that you want to accomplish.
Right.
To just say, oh, I want to go to gym, I want to lose 50 pounds, I want to this and that. I'm not going to say it's temporary because if it's not your lifestyle, that stuff comes right back.
Right.
If you don't make it a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So pick something like fearful, like you're afraid of doing. You know, if you're afraid of heights, climb, you know, go, I guess.
Go do zip lining.
Go do zip lining or even
Rock
going on
climbing.
a trail or something like that, right? You know, if you fear of water, you know, maybe you can do like a small, you know, boat ride or it could be anything. Swimming, take a swim class.
Right.
That's what the class is for.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Just anything.
And they wouldn't let you drown.
They're not going to let you drown. I promise you, there's no one who has taken swimming lessons that have drowned. Google it, guys.
Yes.
It does not happen.
Exactly.
So
Put your
find
fears
it.
away.
Put your fears away, you know. But I think it's really an important thing. Start small.
Yes.
So
Baby
that
steps.
you can start to see the results, you know. But this is basically something that we want, all of us, we're doing it too. We're not telling you something that we're not doing ourselves.
Exactly.
But start to work towards your fears because, again, God does not operate in fear. He has not given us a spirit of fear. That is not the spirit of the fruit or fruit of the spirit. It is not. So it is really, 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 truly important that we start to delve into ourselves, see the image that God created, believe in that image and go out and get what we want. Go and get
What is
That's it, what you
deserving of you.
deserve.
Yes.
Walk your path.
Yes.
Period. That's it.
And you know, put your plan into action. Again, take a leap of faith. And today's topic was doubting oneself. We doubt our capabilities and talents all the time. So we hope that you guys get something from our topic today. And as I said, we are on Uber Sofa Cruise, and we're wrapping up now because we're going to dinner. I rode a horse in DR. Yes, Colleen was scared to ride the horse, and because I did it, she did it. Only because Phyllis encouraged me. Yes, and she was scared, you know. So again, that friend that you have, like she don't want to go to Dubai because it's too long, but we'll be going Dubai in May, God's will, in Cali. So right now it's a 9-hour flight, so make up your mind from now. Okay? 1st to the 6th of May. All right? And we're going to go and you're going to ride a camel too.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love it. Yes, guys. So again, we hope that this topic resonated with you. I think, first of all, I'm just so happy to be here because I would not be doing the Sofa Cruise had it not been for this wonderful woman that I met literally just a year ago, right? A little over a year ago. So again, same thing. It's like being able to step out on a, you know, open yourselves to good things because it will happen.
Yes.
Don't close yourself off to things. And even if you open yourself and something does not go your way, it's okay. That's all part of the process to learn and get better from it.
And even if you meet a little stumbling block, you just get up, pick up the pieces, and you start all over again.
And that's
okay, never give up hope.
No,
all right?
As long as you're alive.
Yes. So we love you guys. Love in the house. Have a blessed, wonderful, and safe week. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, happy Thanksgiving.
Next time we talk, I think Thanksgiving would have already occurred.
Because Thanksgiving is on Thursday.
Yes, it's on Thursday.
So we want to say happy Thanksgiving out there to all the families, and you know, asking God that if you your cup is empty, hoping that it will be brighter for 2024.
Your cup will fully fill.
All right.
We love you guys.
Bye.